This pathway is basically for the international medical graduate. It could be a very junior doctor just completed the foundation year 1. About which are the approved competent authorities. Who is eligible for this pathway? First thing, your institution should be recognized by the AMC and the World Health Directory of the medical schools. So after the Plab test, you have completed the foundation year 1 or you have completed a 12-month supervised training internship equivalent in the United Kingdom. If you are GMC registered via Plab route and work in the NHS for 12 months, you are eligible for this pathway. What type of registration will you get at the end? So this pathway leads to general registration.
Hello guys, good morning. My name is Dr. Faraz Ahmad. Recently moved here in Australia, and after moving here, when I started posting reels on social media, I started having these messages and started having the emails, and people are requesting, Doctor, please can you make a video on competent authority pathway? And now today I am making this video after having a personal experience. So basically, competent authority pathway is for 5 countries and 7 authorities. If you are from those 5 countries and if you are from those 7 authorities, definitely you can come to Australia using this competent authority pathway. So competent authority mean those 7 authorities who are competent to AMC or the AHPRA for the registration of the Australian Medical Council, for the registration of the AHPRA. So definitely you can come in Australia and you can practice medicine over here. So graduates of these 5 countries are graduates who are registered in these 5 countries. They can come to Australia to practice medicine. These countries include UK, USA, New Zealand, Canada and Ireland. If you have worked in any of these 5 countries and you have got the registration in those 5 countries, or you are a graduate of these 5 countries, definitely you can come in the Australia on the competent authority path. So before going in the details of this video, I would like to make it clear for the Pakistani doctors, particularly for the Ireland and those doctors who had got registration in the UK, the GMC registration through the pathway other than the Plab pathway, they will not be able to come Australia on the competent authority pathway. Please keep in mind, if you are a non-UK graduate and you got GMC registration by a pathway other than Plab pathway, you cannot come to Australia on competent authority pathway. For the competent authority pathway, you should have GMC registration through the Plab route and you should have 12-month experience in the NHS. And those Pakistani doctors who are exempted from the press exam, like Pakistani doctor can get registration in Ireland just after passing the English language test, those doctors are also not eligible to use this competent authority pathway. So for those doctors who are registered with the GMC with a route other than the Plab route, they and the doctors from Pakistan who are registered with the IMG Irish Medical Council without press exam, all those doctors have to give AMC1, AMC2. That's mean they have to follow a standard pathway if they want to practice in Australia. So let's move to the laptop screen and I will explain A to Z about the competent authority pathway.
This pathway is basically for the international medical graduates, and keep in mind, any international medical graduate, either non-specialist or the specialist, like it could be a very junior doctor just completed the foundation year 1, or it could be a consultant including the GP consultant as well. So the important thing is, to be eligible for the competent authority pathway, you must have been assessed by the competent authority. What does it mean? Like GMC is a competent authority, you must have been assessed, like you must have been appeared in Plab exam and you must have practiced in the competent authority country. IMGs on this pathway can be registered in Australia without sitting in the Australian Medical Council exam. So this is the perk of competent authority pathway. So once registered IMG, then complete the 12 month of the supervised practice. Either you are a junior doctor or you are a consultant coming on the competent authority pathway. So you have to work 12 month, at least 47 week under the supervision. Okay, so let's start discussing the question given on the website. The first question is, who is this pathway for? As you know, this pathway is for the international medical graduates if you are willing to get general registration in Australia to practice medicine. Okay, what is competent authority? Competent authority mean any of the medical body or any of the medical council who is assessing the candidates for the clinical skills and for the medical knowledge. So these medical bodies or these councils are called as the competent authority, and GMC is one of the competent authority. Okay, let's talk about which are the approved competent authorities. First one in the list is General Medical Council, United Kingdom. To be eligible for the competent authority pathway, you must be assessed by the Plab route or you should be a graduate of the GMC accredited medical courses. So the second authority is Medical Council of Canada. Third one is Educational Commission of the Foreign Medical Graduates for the United States, USMLE. And the next one is Medical Council of the New Zealand. Next one is Medical Council of the Ireland. Please keep in mind, related to the Medical Council of the Ireland, only those graduates of the MCI accredited medical courses, they will be eligible for the competent authority pathway. And the doctors who have received the Irish Medical Council registration, if they are from Pakistan or they are from rest of the 5 countries, they are exempted from the press exam and they will not be able to use that IMC registration for competent authority pathway. The last one in the list is Complex USA. So if you have been assessed by these 6 competent authorities, so then definitely you can use that registration for Australian Medical Council AHPRA registration. So who is eligible for this pathway? First thing, your institution should be recognized by the AMC and the World Health Directory of the medical schools. To be eligible for the competent authority pathway, IMGs must have met the criteria of one of the 7 competent authorities. You must be from the one of the 7 competent authorities. So let's talk about the eligibility criteria categories. So basically, AHPRA has categorized these competent authorities into 7 categories from A to G. So let's talk about the category A. Category A is United Kingdom General Medical Council, or the GMC. So that is successful completion of the Plab test since 1975. And so you can see this is not or, this is and over here, and successful completion of the foundation year 1 in the United Kingdom, or so after the Plab test you have completed the foundation year 1, or you have completed a 12-month supervised training internship equivalent in the United Kingdom. So if you have done this, you are eligible for the competent authority pathway. So the category B is again related to the GMC. You can see over here, graduate of the United Kingdom medical program, and for the courses conducted wholly or partially outside the UK on a list published on the Medical Board of Australia website. So there are few courses. I can give you example, like courses held in Bahrain, some courses held in Malaysia. If you want to see the whole list, you can visit the Medical Board of Australia website. If you have completed your medical graduation from the United Kingdom, or you have completed from these countries or from these courses which are given on the Medical Board of Australia website, and after completing those courses you have successfully completed the foundation year 1 in the UK, or you have done the 12-month of the supervised training in the UK, still you are eligible for the competent authority pathway. So in category C, there is a Medical Council of the Canada, MCC. So you can read this. Category D is for the United States, and category E is for the New Zealand. Category F is basically for the Ireland Medical Council of the Ireland. So the graduate of the program of the basic medical education and training accredited by and approved by the Medical Council of the Ireland, and for the courses conducted wholly or partially outside the Ireland, similar to the GMC. Irish Medical Council also conduct few courses which are approved by the IMC. So if you are a graduate of Ireland, or you have completed your medical course from those countries or from those courses which are held by the IMC outside the Ireland, and you have successfully completed the internship in Ireland, then definitely you can go to Australia through the competent authority pathway. So the category G is related to United States. Again, if you want, you can read this. So in the notes, I would like to clear just first point. You can see the eligibility for the competent authority pathway require both the qualification or assessment. So what does it mean? You can see in the qualification they have written the category B and F. Category B is graduate of the UK and category F is graduates of the Ireland. So if you have completed both qualification or assessment by the competent authorities, by the GMC, by the IMC, USMLE, Canada or the New Zealand. So if you have been graduated from the category B and F countries, or you have been assessed by these countries, and the prescribed post-examination and the post-training experience. So if you have got this experience and you have been assessed, or you are graduated from the category B and F, definitely you are eligible for the competent authority pathway. You want to move to Australia through the competent authority pathway. What type of registration will you get at the end? So this pathway leads to general registration. What does it mean? Will you get general registration on very first day when you will apply for this? No. So the next question will answer your query. What type of registration do I need to apply for? The IMG on the competent authority pathway need to apply for the provisional registration so they can complete a period of the supervised training. So in that period of the supervised training, for 12 month minimum of the 47 week, you will be assessed, and then after that period of the supervised training, you will be able to apply for the general registration. So let's talk about what is the process to apply. This is very simple. So there are three basic steps for the competent authority pathway. So first one is the verification of your medical diploma, called the primary source verification, and ECFMG verify your degree through the EPIC. You have to do this process online. This is a very simple process. If you don't know how to do this, you can watch my video on the upper right corner of the screen. And once you have verified your degree from the EPIC, then what you have to do, you have to secure a job in Australia. Please start applying for the job even before doing the primary source verification. And once you have secured a job in Australia, then there will be the third and the last step, and your employer will help you, and that is you have to apply for the provisional registration with the AHPRA. So now you have secured a job, you have started working here in Australia on the competent authority pathway. So what are the requirements while registered on the competent authority pathway? So on competent authority pathway, you can start practicing on the provisional registration because you will be registered provisionally for the first 12 months, and complete an orientation to the Australian healthcare system before start of this job. After the 3 month of the practice, submit the orientation and the work performance report. Okay, your supervisor will help you in that, don't worry about it. So satisfactory complete the 12 month of the supervised practice 47 week, and after the completion of the minimum 47 week, you can apply for the medical board for the general registration. Important thing here is mentioned, IMGs with the provisional registration who are approaching to the completion of the 12 month of the supervised practice can apply online for the general registration. For example, if you are approaching the 12-month minimum 47 week of the practice, you can apply for the registration like few weeks before the completion of the 12 month. So the next important stuff is what are the fee for the IMGs on competent authority pathway. So first of all, you have to do what you have to make a AMC account, AMC candidate account, and the probable fee for the AMC candidate account is $642 Australian dollar these days. So after establishing the AMC candidate account, you have to do the primary source verification through the EPIC, and EPIC charge almost 130 American dollar, not Australian dollar. And after that, AHPRA and the medical board charge an application fee and registration fee for the provisional registration. So they charge the application fee and the registration fee. I know the provisional registration fee is 430, and I don't know what is the fee of the application, so they charge the application fee as well. Okay, and after that you have to buy a CPD home prescription as well, because this is mandatory for the doctors who are coming on the competent authority pathway, and you should keep almost $200 to $600 in your mind for that. So these are not the only fees. Apart from that, you have to do the verification, notarization of your documents, and then you have to go for the medical, you have to go for the visa fees, you have to go for the tickets, and a lot more. So this pathway is bit expensive, but if you are working in UK, it's not expensive for you. So the next question is about the form. Which form I have to use to get the provisional registration through the competent authority pathway? So this form is called application for the provisional registration as a medical practitioner. So this form is called the AHPRA 30 form, and using that form, this form will be filled, half of the form will be filled by your employer, and you have to fill rest of the form, and then you will send it to AHPRA, and this form is used to get the provisional registration. As you know, on competent authority pathway, you will be given as provisional registration, and you will be supervised for the 12 months. So supervision arrangement and the form. So here it's mentioned that the IMG and the competent authority will be supervised for the 12 months. For the start of your job, supervised practice plan and the supervisor agreement for the IMGs with the limited and provisional registration as PPA 30. So you will have to fill this form and you have to sign this form. So your employer will do all this stuff and they will arrange a supervised practice plan and supervisor agreement. So supervisor will sign and you will sign before the start of this job. This will be online. So once you have started working on the provisional registration, while you hold the provisional registration and are working toward the general registration, you and your supervisor will need to complete these reports and provide them to the board after 3 months of the practice. So these two forms will be filled by your supervisor and yourself after the 3 months of the practice on the provisional registration. The first form is called as the ORIG form, that is orientation report for the IMG with limited or the provisional registration, and the second one is called the work performance report for the IMG. Both are these called the ORIG 30 and WRIG 30. So your supervisor will be very much aware of these form. Don't worry about that. So the next and the last question is, what are the CPD requirement for the IMG on this pathway? Please keep in mind, if you're working in Australian Competent Authority pathway with a provisional registration, you need to have CPD home and do 50 hours of the CPD each calendar year. So you can choose AMC accredited CPD home that is suitable for your scope of the practice. It could be either college based or the non-college based CPD home, and these are given on the AMC website. I will definitely make a video. These CPD home, they can charge you somewhere from 200 to 600 per year. So guys, this was all about the competent authority pathway. If you have worked under any of these 7 competent authorities, you can come to Australia using the competent authority pathway, and I have discussed everything in this video. If you have still left with any other question, you can ask me in the comment box, or you can directly message me on the Instagram. I always try to help you people, and I always try to respond to comments and the messages. Thank you very much for watching the video.